I'm happy for Saquon. Obviously, went on to win the Super Bowl, and we wish him nothing but the best. Always going to evaluate all the decisions you make, and we were at a different place in our build. And again, love Saquon and wish him nothing but the best.
Joe, Ryan Cowden left your front office with the Patriots. Can you kind of give us a scouting report on the guy you worked closely with last week?
Yeah, I've known Ryan for a long time, so I guess it would be 25 years ago. He was a scouting assistant, and I was coming in to replace him as a scouting assistant. So he was in my wedding, I was in his wedding. So he really taught me the ropes early on in the scouting industry, and we've been really good friends since. So you're getting a hard worker, you're getting a really good leader, you're getting a hell of an evaluator, and really good move by Coach Vrabel and the Patriots organization to come after Ryan, and he's going to do a good job for you guys.
Joe, have you made a decision with your number 3 pick whether to keep it or trade it? And if you are going to trade it, what do you think?
Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do on that. This is a great opportunity for us, obviously in Indy, first time to get around some of the prospects and have conversations with them, first time meeting them. So we've got a lot of work to do on the number 3 pick. We've done a lot of work throughout the fall on the college prospects, but this phase of the calendar is getting to know who they are as people, what the fit's going to be, and then obviously free agencies before the draft. So 2 weeks from now the roster will look different. So we know we have an idea of 3 to 5 players, 6 players, 7, whatever it may be, and move back scenarios. You can do that. We'll also look at moving up if that's a possibility. So it's an exciting time for a year for us, and a chance to make some change on the roster. And so we'll look at all different scenarios.
You mentioned moving up. And last year really was you couldn't move up the way it worked out. Did you get the sense that this year is more available as a move, maybe compared to last year, maybe?
Yeah, Jordan, we haven't had any of those conversations yet. That's this week there'll be a lot of that going on. Conversations, what the time frame will be on teams open to moving. Again, it's at the infancy stages of getting to know these kids and get around them. So, I look back on some of the trades that have happened in the past before the draft, whether it was the Jets and the Colts in that 2018 draft. That was like late March, early April. I know Carolina and the Bears. Did it, I think it was March 10th or, not long after the combine. So teams are on different time frames. There are different points in their process in terms of the information that they have and the capability to make those type of decisions that you're comfortable moving out or even the inverse, us moving up. So, a lot of that information will, be gathered over the next week or so, and, that'll help us map out our spring.
When you're evaluating what you want to do with quarterback for next year, how do you balance acquiring a player, whether it's free agency or trade, that what they can do because you've seen it compared to a rookie that you draft where it's your evaluation? How do you balance those two, the sure thing versus maybe the upside?
Yeah, and where we are, Tommy DeVito is our only quarterback on the roster, so you may evaluate both of those. Those both may be options. So, again, we don't know what's going to happen in the draft. We don't know who's going to be there. When we get around these kids, they may or may not be a fit for us. So, we're going to have to address the position somewhere. And even if you get a young quarterback, you'd like to have a vet, in the room with them to show them the ropes and how to be a pro. So, we're looking at all different avenues. It's, hey, is this guy going to be really good for a young quarterback, or is this guy a starter? Or can we get a guy in the draft? Or if we do, should we have a guy that's more of a guy that can develop and show a guy how to be a pro? So, we're going to look at vets. We're going to look at the draft. We're going to look at trade candidates. We're going to look at under every rock to find the best prospect for us going into the 25 season.
You talked about it's like a quarter of it where you don't know this because yet free agency is in 2 weeks. Do you need to have like a quicker timeline on the handle what you can do in the draft and back who you're going to target on this market?
Ask that again.
If you think you need a quarterback at 3, that may make you not as inclined to be aggressive for a veteran, or vice versa. Like you have to have more of a handle on the draft market to dictate what you're going to go for.
Yeah, and we have as good a grasp as we can. Again, there's rules we have to follow in terms of when we can be around these kids. So, we've got a process and a timeline in place that will lead us to exactly what you're talking about, and we've got a plan in place for that.
Joe, you mentioned trade candidates. There's reports that the Rams have given Matthew Stafford's agent an opportunity to talk to other teams. Have you had those conversations?
Yeah, you have to ask the Rams that. Ask that you can get that from the Rams and let them talk about that. He's under contract with them, so that'd be a question for the Rams.
Joe, with who you try to get, so get a quarterback event, will that indicate to you what you feel about your team and your roster coming off 3 days? Saying sometimes that roster you look at different things. A young guy you can develop with, a quick guy, a new, older guy maybe you can win with now. So, where do you see the roster as far as where you fit?
Yeah, I've said it to you guys before. I think it's the most important position in football, and we have one on our roster right now, and I think that's important wherever we address it. That the play has to be better than what it's been, and because of injuries, we played 4 quarterbacks this year. We played 3 last year, so it'd be nice to have one guy out there that can help you, give you the best chance to win games and also stay healthy. So again, yeah, that is an important position, and we need better play out of that position than what we've had, and that'll help us.
Joe, you've talked about the idea that you have a lot of confidence in your process of evaluating quarterbacks in the draft. Is it a different feeling now versus last year or the year before if you're going to have an opportunity to actually pull the trigger and draft a guy, or do you just lean on the same experience and evaluation?
Yeah, definitely believe in the evaluation process that we have in place. Whether it was when we were in Buffalo or what we've done here, we've continued to do it each year. And again, reflecting on the seasons that some of the quarterbacks that we liked or didn't like have had. Again, I believe in that, and we'll continue with that process the way we've done in the past. And again, you can't manufacture these things. So if you draft one and you don't believe in who that player is, just to say you did it, I mean, you got to believe in who the player is and that they can be a eventual franchise quarterback or whatever it may be. So again, we're going through that process now to say that there's going to be the one there at 3 or in the second round or third round or wherever it may be. We're at the infancy stages of the process right now.
On Hard Knocks was when you saw you going over to the Patriots and just said, hey, you guys.
I didn't hear the first part that he's talking.
Hard Knocks, I think it was shown that here at the Combine last year was when you had that first conversation with the Patriots. And if you're interested in trading, call us, talk to us, kind of thing. Do you plan on talking to the Titans and Browns in a similar fashion this week?
Yeah, I'll talk to all 31 general managers or whoever the head of the personnel department is if they don't have a general manager here. And it's not just trades for the draft. It's any cap casualties they may have, any trade candidates, and sometimes those conversations may come up like, hey, what are you thinking in the draft? Hey, if you guys are open to moving back, I'd be willing to talk with you, or the other way, like, hey, if you guys want to come up to 3, at some point, give me a call. We may be open to that. So have a good relationship with most of those guys around the league, and a lot of those conversations will happen this week, like you saw last year.
Joe, in your introductory press conference, you said you think you build a roster that can win today and compete for tomorrow. Entering year 4 as the Giants GM, where do you think you are in that process?
Yeah, we've got to be better. We were a 3-win team, so where we are financially, from a salary cap health standpoint, we're in good shape. We have premium draft capital, so not suffocating. We have the resources to improve the roster, and again, we made some decisions after that first year when we won, and they didn't work out. So again, we're where we are, and again, I feel like we have the resources to improve the roster, and that's what's exciting about this time of year.
Scouting as an exciting part of this, but also you don't have a long-term answer at one of those core positions. How do you feel about that?
I've been through it before. You do it every year. It's not just, hey, because you have a quarterback, or when I was in Buffalo, we had Josh Allen. We still scouted the quarterback. So you're going to scout every position. Again, you got to treat it. If you got an opportunity to get one at a certain point of the draft, you got to do it. And again, it's a more thorough process because of the uniqueness of what's asked of the position. So we're always going to do work on those guys.
As a GM, what do you think when you hear that some quarterbacks aren't?
I'm okay with that. Played quarterback in high school and college, also played receiver. Have a son that's a quarterback. So to me, you've never thrown to these receivers before. Okay, like you guys are the local guys, like you guys know Wandell. He's quick and fast and really good in the slot. And then you may get a bigger receiver that's a 4.6 guy that's not a good route runner. So if they throw, that's great. I'm never going to downgrade them for not throwing. And then if they don't have a great throwing session, I'm not going to downgrade them for that either, because I've never thrown to these guys. And it's timing, it's anticipation, it's the type of routes that guys run, their ability to run certain routes. So, I think that's important as a quarterback when you're throwing to these guys. So if a guy decides he doesn't want to throw and he wants to throw at his pro day, I'm okay with that. My staff's done a lot of work on the quarterback. So we've seen all these guys throw multiple times, whether it's practice, games. So that's up to the individuals, their decision and how they feel about that. And I'm okay with that. No, we're open to everything. Move up, move back. Again, it's an exciting time for a year. We're starting to put that together now, put the puzzle together. So, we're going to look at all options to, improve the roster going into 2025.
Joe, you said your son's a quarterback. What are like the 2 or 3 most important traits you want him to display?
We just had this conversation. Completions and winner. I want a winner. I want a guy that can win and complete passes. So that's the most important thing. He likes to throw these go balls and deep balls all the time, and just take the gains, take positives, take completions and win games. So that's what I tell him.
What about his captain?
His captain, yeah, he's located. Yeah. NIL's on the horizon. He sent me some clips this morning. That's when he said that, Pat. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you, but and listen, last year, like he knows where that came from, so that wasn't all his idea.
Does that, what you joked about, obviously, does that apply to what you're looking for in a quarterback now? I mean, I know you guys talk a lot about the off-field stuff, but has the position evolved to the point where you value different qualities in your quarterback roster you have?
Yeah, it's complicated, Art, because the quarterback position, and again, I tell my son this, like, I've seen a bunch of people have great pro days. They get out there, they rip it, they're 6'4", they can throw the ball. Like, oh my gosh, you see it on NFL Network. Look at this throw this guy just made. It's on air. It's not processing information. It's not getting guys lined up. It's not leading. It's, hey, you lose 2 in a row. Who's the guy that's going to come in the locker room and rally the troops? Who's the first one in? Who's the last one to leave? Who's going to elevate everybody around him? I think the quarterback can elevate the entire team. So I can't just say, hey, I want a guy that's, winning's important, all that's important, but there's a lot that goes into the quarterback position. And that's, this time of year is where we can find that out. Like, we've seen the film evaluation, we've seen how these guys perform under pressure, we've seen how they do on 3rd down, how they do on 4th down in money situations. Now we need to figure out who they are as people. And it's a unique media market. Everybody knows that's standing here. So can they handle the pressure? Can they handle adversity? Can they handle people talking negatively about them, over extended period of time? Hopefully not extended period of time if we take them, but that's the reality of the situation. So, how can they handle all those things? And that's what we need to try to find out this time of year.
Joe, where are you with your free agents and your interest in bringing back Gary Slayton primarily, but Aziz or
Yeah, we'll have those conversations this week. GVR, the 4 starters, Daniel's obviously on Minnesota's roster now. GVR, J-Pin, and Slayton are the 3, opening day starters that are, their contracts are up. So we'll have those conversations this week. Again, we're still waiting on the salary cap. We have a little bit of a range on what that's going to be. So we're starting to put all that together now.
Let's take 3 more. Joe, would you rather benefit from drafting a quarterback having a year on a rookie deal so your veteran is more like a stopgap bridge? Would you be willing to spend a top quality contract on an elite quarterback, elite veteran, whether or not you draft?
Yeah, Pat, whoever gives us the best chance to win right now where we are, again, as of today, I don't know if one of those guys are going to be there or if there's one in this draft. We're still going through that process. In theory, you take a rookie quarterback, they're on the rookie deal for 5 years, and where we are salary cap-wise, you can build around them. But you got to make sure that one of those guys are going to be there or they're even in the draft. So, having a vet in place, and I've told you guys this before, where when you go into draft day, you could go play a game. Now, is your team going to be as good as you want it to be? No, but you still got the draft. So, prevent some of the draft for need and, being able to take best player available. So I think we need to look at all those options, Pat, and in terms of which one's perfect right now, we're still working through that because of where we're picking. And, again, we'll have a plan in place to address it.
Joe, how would you compare Shador and Cam Ward today?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into, comparing the guys. We've done a lot of work on those 2. I know a lot of people are talking about those 2, but there's other quarterbacks, throughout the draft, and excited to get around those guys as well.
last one?
About Cam's game?
You talked about Shador. I didn't know you were around recently.
Yeah, I haven't been around Cam. Again, that's something that we'll have to get around, but, have seen him play a couple times. I was at the Cal game, and they dug themselves a little bit of hole. Some of it was they were in a hole because of him, but he also was able to get him out of it, and they won the game because of him. So, those are traits that you look for, the got-to-have-it moments, whether it's Virginia Tech, that Cal game, to bring a team back. And when everybody in the building knows you're going to throw it, that you can throw it. So, and there's several quarterbacks in this draft that are like that, so not just Cam. So excited to get around the prospects this week and throughout the spring. Yep. Thanks, guys.